Hello everyone and welcome to another great Legacy stream here in TokenSMTG. Today we are playing Eldrazi Aggro. And in this case we are playing the new land from Lorwyn that's Abundant Countryside. It taps for colorless and add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells. This means that it has mana of any color. It's not like the other that you have to choose. This is for any creature, and then for 6 tapping, it makes a 1/1 color shapeshifter with channeling. That's not really something we are gonna do, but you might create in the long games 1 token. What does this land allows you? It allows you to splash for other cards. For example, Broadside Bombardiers, great card, we all know. In fact, this list only has 2, but I'm sure you could be playing more instead of some Waste Escape Battle Mage. This list got second in a challenge last weekend. There's one change I'm gonna do to it, is I'm gonna change the Waste for Montane. I think playing Waste in the Eldrazi deck is not really worth, while playing Montane is really worth. You can not search Waste with Boseiju, which is the card that lets you search the most in the format. And it fixes your color, and usually playing around Blood Moon is almost impossible. You have to draw the 1-off ways to do that, so we are not gonna bank on that happening. You can solve this Blood Moon issue with cards like Grim Monolith or Talisman, the green-red Talisman. We have played that in the past. So yeah, that's gonna be the list for today, and we are gonna try to win games pretty fast. Legacy League. This deck is fast. This deck is strong. I have also give some Eldrazi player friends the idea of playing Barrogoyf in this deck, which is strong. You play Lotus Petal, you play Wastelands, you play creatures, you play artifacts, you play instant and kindred. So it's not that hard to get the Barrogoyf to be big. And it also deals with opposing Barrogoyfs. You can also, with Linebreaker, haste the Barrogoyf. So that is a thing. The mana on Barrogoyf is a bit harder to achieve, like Countryside, some Caverns, maybe Lotus Petals. So not like the best in the world, but still a strong card. If you enjoy my content, hit like and subscribe. We're here for round 1 against Akisamiyu. We are on the play, which is always great. We have a hand that has Chalice on turn 1, but nothing else. So I guess I'm gonna mulligan this. Okay, now we have Chalice on 1 and some spells. And we don't know what our opponent is playing. I'm gonna keep this and play Chalice. So Chalice on 1 go. This could be, you never know. While playing Chalice, it's always situation. You might be playing a mirror, and that means your Chalice does nothing, or you might be playing against something else. Wasteland, my land. Okay, yeah, we kept the more lands things because it always helps. So maybe they have another Wasteland. Swamp. What does swamp means? They're playing some aggressive mono black deck, maybe. Okay, here got slightly punished by casting the Temple. But still, Snuff Out is a card I would expect to happen. Oh, they're playing Smallpox. Okay, so I'm gonna discard Kozilek's Command, the Creature, and the Mountain. Oof, that card was very strong. It got me on everything. I still go on the Dognatseer train. Dognatseer is strong. Liliana, Bridge. So Dark Ritual does nothing. Bridge could be strong. I think I'm gonna take Bridge first because that's a card I'm fearing the most. Maybe my opponent plays something like Ancient Tomb and they drop the Bridge. They're attacking. So that means they did draw another Smallpox? That would be a disaster for me. Maybe I'm just not blocking. Actually, okay, they didn't draw another Smallpox. That would have been very bad. Here we get Liliana. That means they have no relevant cards in hand. They have Saga, but that Saga is not gonna be the fastest. And they're losing 1 life each time they tap the Hatchery. Saga, Swamp, Dark Ritual in my opponent's hand. Only known card that does something is Saga. Saga gets played. And did they draw any spell that does something? Seems like no. Or maybe yes, and they are thinking. Okay. Combat, Wasteland. Okay, I'm gonna attack first, so they might think something. Wasteland is strong. Unblock, yep. You got it. And then upkeep, I guess kill Saga. And goes to 9. If they tap Hatchery, they lose 1 life. So they will have to do something relevant without tapping Hatchery. Could be Bowmaster, maybe. Bowmaster is 3 damage on a Thought-Knot-Seer. Yeah, Bowmaster. I smell them. Chomping 1, leaving the other back. Smell Bowmasters miles away. Play land because they could draw another Smallpox and you don't want to discard a card for nothing. They are hatching again. That means our Thought-Knot-Seer are lethal. I think they should probably not have hatchery there because this gives them more chances. Disruptor Flutes. I don't think Chalice is a great card. Warping Whale. Warping Whale counters Smallpox. And for the rest, I think we are fine. They probably have some Barrow-Goyfs there. Maybe I need to deal a bit more against Barrow-Goyf. Just I have 4 Waste Escape, but they for sure have some Barrow-Goyfs. I'm keeping 1 Flute, and I don't know if Simian Spirit Guide that's good. I put in 2 Flutes and cut another Simian. Simian is a card that's gonna be in your hand for a lot of time when you top deck it late game, so I'm gonna cut 1. Taka, thanks for the follow. Okay, we have a very fast hand here. That is a turn 1 Line Breaker and some Waste Escape Mage. We only have a 1-shot at red mana, but I think that's fine. Probably one of the best draws is one of the new lands. Abundant Countryside. Opponent molds to 6 and starts with classic Thoughtseize. They could take Petal, they could take Linebreaker. Really Linebreaker because taking Petal is a bit medium. Opponent having a hard time choosing. Waste Escape Battle Mage. So I guess if I play this, I'm gonna still going to cast Linebreaker, which Ancient Tomb, the less strong card in my deck. Attack for 4. So now they could Smallpox me. I lost the land that matters the less. So they can also something like Fatal Push, Insult in Blood. Okay, you're fine. Wasteland, yeah. My bad land. That's not a good land I care about. Yeah. So Chris Badbeer, thanks for the follow. I'm going to play slow. Gonna Wasteland. I don't want to expose now my land. I could Wasteland them. If they play a Saga, they don't get to play a 2-mana land. Factory, Cavern on Eldrazi. I could get Liliana. That's not the thing that matters the most. Liliana is strong, but I can deal with Liliana. Opponent does 4, that's 40. Hi Jose. Oh, it's going very good. Mirror's Factory attacking. Yeah, I can take 2 damage with that. I don't really care. I'm not gonna Wasteland. Hatchery, yeah. So here comes Thought-Knot-Seer that can't be countered. Taking a removal spell, probably. Bitter Triumph. They had the Saga. Yeah, I was pretty sure they had the Saga. And that factory attack was pure bait. If they play the Saga, I can Waste Escape it. Another factory. Now going to attack. I kill this, and okay, in response I kill the factory. So they could animate this, but this cannot pump itself because this is not the newly controlled. This is the newly controlled. Opponent takes damage there, and I'm going to pass. No hurries, no reasons to do something else. We have Saga and 2 more cards. Let's see what's going to happen. Work, I guess. Thanks for the black mana. Lotus Petal. Gonna play this. This is a bit of bait, but I'll play the second Ancient Tomb. My opponent is probably now gonna play the Saga. Dismember, Waste Escape. They go to 1 if I do this. Just gonna attack with this. You want to chump? They have to chump. Chump it is. And here for green and double colorless, we cast the others. Wayscape with Kicker. And now I'm keeping the 3rd one for bridge purposes. Another factory, yeah. I can attack with everything. Ooh, okay. Okay. This is something. 1 more days. Bomba being a huge card. Okay, yeah. Oops, I bomba you. 2 over Mono Black Smallpox. Easy peasy. I don't know if my opponent has Barrow-Goyf in the deck. Playing all those Ancient Tomb decks, Barrow-Goyf tends to be the strongest card against you. But yeah, if they had it. They didn't draw any of them. So we're playing against no props. And we have a very fast hand. Turn 1 Line Breaker, turn 2 Thugnuts here. I remember right, no props likes to play Doomsday. Maybe I am wrong and I don't remember what they like to play, but yield, attack for 4. Chromox. So we are getting combo it. Hexing Squelcher, Ancient Tomb. So this is Blood Moon time. Fable. Okay. Fable is not the strongest card right now. Here, I'm gonna play Thugnuts here. Take some cards from my opponent's hand. Ah, they're playing Initiative. That's a swing for 9. Opponent is at 5. They will need a lot of help to win this game. They kept double Taiga. So they have 2 Taiga, 2 unknown cards in hand. The opponent plays Formidable Speaker and discards Taiga probably to search for something. I don't know. They discard another Formidable Speaker and search Adventurer. Yeah. So, ooh, okay. How much damage can I do here? That has to be lethal somehow. Okay, yeah, everything wins. Attack, attack, attack. The opponent plays some kind of initiative. I don't know how good Mindbreak Trap is. This deck tends to play a lot of Elvish Spirit guys, but also Petals and Moxen. So maybe not that good or bad. Petal Moxen spells. I'm not sure. I cut 1 West Escape Mage. So this could deal with some cards. Maybe West Escape Mage is worth. Maybe Cosyless Command is not that great. We have a very medium hand. We had 1 less land and 1 more spell. That would be golden, but I'm gonna mull this. Okay, yeah. This hand has a plan, which is always something you should try to have. Removal, spells. I know I cannot cast the Demon Spirit Guide and Trinisphere. Not that much worried about that. I'm gonna play Eye of Ugin because if I draw a 2 mana land, I could play Thugnuts here. Maybe that's a punt. Formidable Speaker. Okay, no, I cannot cast if I draw. This is not a 2 mana land. It's a discount, so this doesn't play around Trinisphere. So yeah. You have to remember this card untaps something for 1 mana. So we have to be aware of this tricking us into getting more mana or untapping creatures to block. Dismember. I don't think I can win this game. Yeah, maybe if I draw a 2 mana land, I can play Thugnuts here or Smasher, or with Ancient Tomb, I could play Dismember. Cavernous Souls, name's Goblin, and here's Bomba. I know. Adventurer. Okay, so I have a chance if I get to take the Bomba out of their mountain, get search for, attack for 2. Okay, I'm gonna concede and go to game 3. Now on the play. Maybe Cosyless Command is bad. Very expensive, and to kill my opponent's cards I have to pay 4. Okay, Wasteland. This hand makes a turn 2 Flesh Raker, turn 3 nothing. Yeah, medium. We kept drawing the Eye of Ugin, which is not the best dual land. Not a dual land, 2 mana land to draw. Rumble again. Okay, this is not gonna end well. 1 land allows us to attack. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this and try to draw a land. Maybe that's very wrong, but I don't know. Now, this hand is very aggressive, so that's something we will take. So any land, dual land is the best that we could draw. Like Eldrazi Temple, probably the best card, but we can rip Mox with Simian Spirit Guide, 3 mana. Fable. Fable is not the best play they can do, but not the strongest. Okay, we drew a land, so at least we are casting spells. We need to draw another land, but they go to 16 and they draw this card. So here, if I get an attack, I could search for the Basic Mountain. If they get the initiative, discarded 1 speaker. Speaker is a bit slow in Legacy. Like 3 mana, search for something that's gonna impact the board next turn. Under Mountain Adventurer. So this can be the mountain spot I was speaking about, where I attack for 4 and I search for mountain. I could play mountain, that means that the Seat of Traitor dies, yeah. And Hexing Squelcher. Squelch. This is word. So this 4. This kills this. Better to wait. Yeah, I think it's better to wait. It's a 4-3. Gonna wait. If I draw another land, I think in a better spot. Opponent goes into Forge and puts to counter into the Shaman token. Table flips. Yeah. I think if I drew a land this turn, it was likely favored. Take everything. But probably next turn I'm dead. Next turn I go to 6. From trap. Yeah, that's not looking well. Another adventurer. Okay, I'm so dead. I think if I would have drawn a 2-mana land last turn, I had a high chance of winning. If I draw it this turn, nothing matters. Yeah, mana-wise, this deck is always a bit troublesome. But you sometimes get there. Yeah, mulligans do matter that much. Usually it's if you mulligan and don't have a very good hand, it's tends to be game over. On my Metafrail profile, you will find all my competitive Magic the Gathering content. You will get deck and sideboard guides, articles with ideas and analysis, and even the decks I will be playing in my next big tournament. I offer one-to-one coaching sessions to help take your game to the next level. Following is completely free, so hit the subscribe button and keep up with everything I post on metafy.gg. Okay, we are here playing round 3 against Nuserdog against Yorion. This could be obsolete spells, control, or taxes. Anyway, I'm gonna keep this hand and maybe play. So I'm not gonna think I'm playing against the Yorion, the Oops deck. So I'm just gonna Temple pass. Do I get killed on turn 1? I played the Yorion Upsal spells deck on stream, and the video's on YouTube. So, and it seemed quite strong than what you would have expected. I'm gonna play another Temple and Chalice for 1 because I don't want them to sword my Fleshraker. I have to be a bit aware of Philia. Okay, Shadowy Backstreet, landed to the grave. Does my opponent has Philia? Okay, they take mana, and now we are getting Philiad. That's the strongest card they have. Hope this doesn't bite me too hard. So they call Blink my Chalice and then Swords. I'm gonna block. Philia is the strongest card in their decks, so you have to always be aware of that. Eldrazi. Maybe they have another Philia and nothing what I'm doing currently matters. They're F6 or they have another Philia. Swords trigger. They discarded Lion Sash. Select command will be a good draw. Arithmeta. Pass. So I can slow this down. I'm gonna play slow. It did not get Yorion, so what's this? Not Philia. Yep. Play a land and Overlord. Complicated. Thanks for the 32 months of subscription. Recruiter. Okay. They're probably searching for Solitude. Yeah. 1 second. Okay. Now we have to move and do things. Not happy about that, but I don't think this is gonna end well. Cut with Blue Kicker, 2 Bones, Philia. This TimeBolt Philia 1 turn, which I guess it's okay. They call Solitude in response. I don't know why, but just to stop us from doing 2 damage. Stoneforge comes down. And attack Caldra, Meteor Sword. Yeah. Does the Death and Taxi decks do not play Caldra anymore? I always search for this, which I think it's a medium card. Like, if Stoneforge survives, yes, but 6, 7, Exile and Scry. Right, Exile, Stoneforge. Stoneforge gets exiled. Whoa. None of those cards do anything real. Maybe Eofugin, but that's still a very slowish game plan. I guess it's better than nothing. Haste himself, attack. They call play Philia and bones it. They play Philia and they are gonna double jump. Okay, just take it. So next turn I have for Eofugin 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 3 mana. I can get another line breaker Overlord. Okay, this gets Solitude back probably. Okay, I'm so dead. Okay, that Overlord was a huge top deck with Philia on board. They return Skyclave. So I don't block. Skyclave, eat. Yeah, get Solitude. I can eat the Overlord. 5, 6, 7. Activate Fugen. Okay, here I could get Waste Escape, Battlemates, and Exile Overlord. The other option, I think that's the best option because the Overlord is not as just. I think I'm still dead. But this gives me. If the Overlord stays on board, I'm so dead. So they block and they give me a token. That's fine. If I have 3/3 token instead of a small Eldrazi. So 5, 6, 7. So I can play a Thought here if I don't draw land. There's a good card I could draw. That's Bomba. So now they can Philia and Blink. They have Solitude and they blink both. They attack, they blink Solitude again. No, I can jump. I'm gonna jump. This saves some life, and the Solitude is gonna eat my creature anyway. Okay, they're gonna eat Eofugen. Yeah, that Wasteland. Smasher will be a good draw. Not here a bit late. Okay, I don't think I'm gonna win this game. Yeah, they had double Philia in their 80 card deck. Good card Philia. Nice dog. Chalice is always bad in this matchup. Dismember fine. Disruptive Flute. Always like a medium card. I'm gonna cut one West Escape Battle Mage. Not the greatest. So we have a turn 1. Okay, yeah. Turn 1 line breaker and then try to wasteland them. So they could have removals and that would be bad for us. But Arid Mesa and what's this? Vial. Okay. So gonna put a token. This is a lot of damage. Not a lot, but some extra damage coming in. If I draw Smasher, if I draw, I'm gonna play Ancient Tomb. Okay, I need to draw some big card. Any Eldrazi while fading more removals is good. White Orchid Phantom, yep, got it. I have a Basic Mountain. Is it a Basic Land or a Basic Land type? Basic Land, so this could also get waste. So this gets only attack. So I cannot attack with a Scion because this has Fear Strike. Pumps itself, that's 5. We go to 3. They Solitude, okay. That's bad. They did not have the Solitude probably earlier. Maybe they did. But they thought they take the Vial to 2, and I think depends what they draw and what they play this turn. Great that my double Wasteland hand does nothing against their triple basic. A bit of a shame. Tax. What did they search for? Philia. Ooh, Bomba. Bomba. Tax. They could block and first strike me. I have to wait. I am Rappa the Rapper. Thanks for the follow. Okay, float it out. And there's a world where I can still win if I draw something strong, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Really attacks, blinks Recruiter, that blink. Yeah, they blink the Sky, the White Orchid, so that destroys another land. They get Yorion back. Wasteland, destroy another land. So I'm very dead. I'm gonna draw a card, but I don't know what I can do to win. Now they get my Temple. Not here. Too late. Okay, yeah. That Taxi seems like a very bad matchup. A deck with 4 Solitude and 4 Swords to Blows plus a lot of cards that get Field Advantage and Card Advantage. So, round 4 against Repia. They play Cradle Control, which I think it's also not a great matchup. At the end with Eldrazi, you want to play against combo decks, and we are not facing any combo decks today in the league, so that's that. I guess I have to play one of the 1 mana lands. I could start with Dryad Arbor and I could play Ancient Tomb and exile it, but that's not the usual, and I'm worried more that they wasteland me. Usually Cradle Control tends to play 2 or 3 wastelands. They have 2 wastelands. 2 wasteland, 2 Talon, right? 2 double Dryad, Toxies. A multi 5, multi 4. Multi 4. Countryside, go. Yeah, seems like Cradle Control. They're playing a Dork. I could try to Cosilius command the Dork, but probably getting something better of them, it's stronger move. So here is Fleshraker. I guess it's gonna be Fleshraker. It's a bit slower on the clock, but it will let me do more damage in the long run. I'm losing 4 damage now, But gaining 2 back next turn, I'm probably doing double spells, so that means more and more damage. Once upon a time, hard cast 1 once upon a time, turn 2. That's one of the saddest things that a player can. Okay, so red, line breaker. I do it the other way. I can make a token, exile target creature, make a token, make another token with Flashbreaker, and then I get red mana, Eldrazi with the red mana and the colorless. I get Line Breaker into play, so this makes a token, more damage, haste themselves. This will be lethal next turn. They're on 1 land, so I don't think they're gonna live much. Yeah, sad. My opponent's Molto 4 on the draw. I probably don't want Chalice. The play is good. Dismembers. Disruptive Flute stops right of the reliquary, but nothing else. Warping Whale stops Natural Order. That's gonna be it. Dismember, Flashbreaker, dual land. Yeah, this hand is decent. I thought Stumpy decks, Excel versus Fair decks, and it's exactly combo what you don't want to see. Eldrazi is very good against the combo decks. Eldrazi is not very good against Barrow. So land, do you think you can bounce? I think it's just better to exile. So here, I guess I play Flashbreaker, and then next turn I can dismember or maybe cast something. They're on the double wasteland train, which is fine. Eldrazi, dismember, cap. Yeah, double wasteland is strong, but I guess it is what it is. Weirdly, Cradle, that's... They call Atraxa this turn, okay? That smells like Atraxa. Snuff out for 4 mana. Deal. We have got a deal. Eldrazi... Snuff out for mana instead of any other card. They wasteland me. Fine. That's Grist. Grist is strong. They mill over land. And they attack for 1 with Exalted. You didn't write me? No. Where are you currently, Dario? Line Breaker. I cannot cast Line Breaker because Eovugin does not work. Okay, yeah. Okay, they mill. They are attacking for 3 this turn. Go to 10. Not a seed left in the vintage coop. Okay, now I can go. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for the line breaker path. I could have another snuff out. Yeah, 2 creatures, 3 creatures. Attack for 3, 7. That's. Oh, the Miller. Another Grist down. Okay. 7. Next turn they attack for 4. So I have to take down the Grists. What's this? They're tapping 1. Convoke. What's this? Hogak. Ah, okay, yeah. They have double Hogak. Okay, I'm so dead. But now we are on the play. They had doubles, wasteland double snuff out. That's a strong amount of interaction. Nakata Smasher against the wasteland deck. Turn 1 line breaker. Or nothing. I guess turn 1 line breaker is fine. Anything expect that I get Mimeric Trap? That would be crazy. Okay, turn 1 attack for 4 is a number. I can dismember something. Maybe I get Snuff Out. Not Seer. I think I'm going to dismember here just to stop their mana development. This does tempo. Not like I enjoy dismembering a hero, but the amount of things they can do with 2 mana instead of more mana, because they could play another thing and then a Cradle and then something. So Cradle is a strong card that you have to keep in check. So Bayou could get these Snuff Outs. Right, that's a 3/3. Ooh, that's a Temple. Reveal me your secrets. Hogak, right, Battermall Cup. So Hogak not coming in, so probably right is the biggest card. Hasty, no Snuff Outs. And now what you do? Do you trade or you block? So that means you go to 5. Battermall Cup without another land. So they might have to block. If you don't block, you go to 1. 1 is a number. Okay, yeah, no blocks. So now I want to see your cards again. Kirach, Cup, take Hogak. Probably the most dangerous card they have. If they drop it, they can play Cap here and then do some blocking and things dying. They draw a fetch land that can become a creature, but it cannot be fetched. So it doesn't make extra mana. Cap, so maybe on Bayou. This becomes a creature, but doesn't make mana. Okay, that's just a blocker. Trade and chump. Masher, removal, flash raker. So block, trade. Block, trade. Block here, then I have some attack. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna let them draw a card. Maybe they just chump. And chump. They don't trade. If they trade, they lose a lot of mana. And if they don't trade, I do get to off their board. Everything is fine. Maybe chumping is better. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 mana. This comes back, but does nothing. Maybe it's chumping and trying to rip a natural order. Here I play Flesh Raker. That means any spell is lethal. Now, this was the classic plan of you live one more turn, wasteland, might want to wasteland me. So, spells, no spell. 2, 3, okay, yeah, sure. Attack with everything, trade, okay. So, I'm not gonna play my land now. And they have 2 attackers and they, okay. We beat the Elves Menace. Probably not the Elves. I always call it elves, but they don't play any elves. They play... What is the list? How many elves are there in here? Goblin, Shaman, Human, Archer... 0 elves. Ashen Rider, Alpha, Deathclaw is Lesser Mutant. Yeah, the elf-less elf deck. Last round against Jackie Brown. Have you seen the mono black list with Moonshadow? Yes, I have seen them. We'll probably play them next week. This week I wanted to play this. Okay, this is a very fast hand on the draw. Draws are... You still keep this, but you're playing against Omnitel on the draw. This might be slowish. Floated Delta, Lotus Petal, and Linebreaker Smash. This is a very good force target if they have Force of Will. But if they do not have a Force of Will, this is puts them on the... You need to have the combo. We are assuming they are on Omnitel. Maybe they are not. Opponent is thinking very hard on if this is gonna resolve or not. We got our resolver and swing for 4. Go, Eldrazi, go. And not fetching, not doing anything. Ancient Tomb. Okay, we are getting Showantelt, stock up. Showantelt. Okay, yeah. Timebreaker, Omniscience. And now, so that means I'm probably super dead. Right click. Concede Murktide. Okay, that's the strongest play my opponent had. What is this? Tempotel? Okay, that's surprising. Might my opponent force my... Okay, they are forcing my Lotus Petal. Yeah. 2, 3. Not gonna bounce that. I'm gonna let it trade. Green. Cast with Kicker. Destroy Omniscience. This gains haste. And this gains haste. Attack with all. Everything trades for Murktide. That's 11. That's the same damage because it has trample. So no Ancient Tomb for you anymore. Go. Maybe they should have followed up for... Okay, we beat a turn 2 show and tell with false backup and Murktide. So Tempotel. They could be playing some good cards, but they are choosing to play 2 Murktide Regents, which I think is medium. They play Brainstorm, Ponder, Thoxys. I'm gonna cut the Chalices, 1 Smasher, and 1 Waste Escape. There's some Barrogoyfs in the sideboard. Maybe Waste Escape Mage is a bit better. I'm gonna cut 1 Kozirik's Command. Yeah. Show and Tell, Omniscience, stock up, Murktide, go. Not the power level I'm used to. 1 game up to get a positive record. Not that I'm so sure this will happen, but maybe I'm gonna keep 1 Windbreak Trap. Okay, we have a very fancy stand with Disruptor Flutes and Kozirik's Command. It's not as strong. Depending how much I want to force the issue on Disruptor Flute on turn 1, that's the big question here. Disruptor Flute is a very cool card. Flute Delta, Tempelino. On the opponent's upkeep, I'm gonna Flute for Show and Tell. You do it on your opponent's upkeep because they could consign, and at least this way you tax their mana. Okay, I'm gonna name Barrogoyf. They search for Swamp, which is so odd. If they now have, like, they don't play Lotus Petal. So now what, opponent? They would have searched for a dual land. Searching for Swamp. Maybe I get killed in 2 turns by a Show and Tell, but still okay, yeah. Whatever card you take, I'm gonna play the other one. So I take the monkey, line breaker, yeah. Underground Sea, 5 cards. Cavern of Souls is probably one of my best draws. The days I can spirit guide it. So here comes Flesh Raker, Consign, Force. All this is fine. Days not working because of the monkey. Lotus Petal, damage, go. Nothing. Oxy is my Cosyless command. They might have a Ancient Tomb and they're just slow rolling it. Lorien, yeah. Search for Basic Island. Undercity Seawards. Okay, they're missing things. 1 card on top. 1 card on top. That's bad for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And monkey time. Attacking monkey. The angry monkey. Okay, they passed. Dognauts here. Pre-combat, omniscience, show and tell. They didn't force. What's happening here? When should have forced? They could bring in probably the next card is show and tell. No, they cannot know that. Okay, I'm gonna take omniscience. Something weird is happening here. So they need the show and tell, the stock up to combo with show and tell. But I think that's weird. 6. Show and tell. They could show and tell in a Barrow land, okay. That's a stock up. Yeah, they had double Barrow, so Flute did a lot of work this game. Yeah, they telegraph too hard. I searched for Swamp Thing instead. I searched for Underground Sea, and that was in my mind their demise. Happens. Sometimes you have to run risks to not die to weird spots. So Polluted Delta, and they want to find a fatal push. Kill, I don't know what. Stock up. Stock up needs to find fatal push to start playing, and then they go to 1. That means that if I just play this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So just by tapping the countryside, I win because of the damage. When another colorless creature you control, this is colorless. So just by playing this land and tapping it, I deal 1 damage. So I don't need to draw a land, a spell to win. Okay, yeah, we beat Tempo Show and Tell, Tempo Omniscience, and we ended 3-2. The deck performing like most of the times. Bomba was very strong. Probably for Waste Escape Battle Mage is not the card you want to. And yeah, at the end, the deck always has the same issues about being stuck on mana or flooding out. And if you get to not get flooded or not have enough lands to cast your spells, the deck is great, but it's very hard to solve this. We are playing 24 lands plus petals and simians, so that's gonna happen because how the deck is constructed. And we don't have enough onboard mana to start using Eye of Ugin at a reasonable pace, so yeah. Maybe playing Ursa Saga or maybe playing Rings. Those are 2 decent options.